just before, very quickly, we get into this video, have a look there on screen. A buddy of mine, Lee from Inside the Distance, I've had him on here with Joe Stunner as a guest before. I really enjoyed that. That was only a couple of weeks ago. Thankfully, he has come through his operation perfect. Well, I didn't say perfect. He's going through surgery. He's going through surgery. But he's on the mend. He'll be back to making videos soon. He's just hit 500 subs. Let's see if we can get him close to 600. A nice little welcome back to YouTube gift. On screen there, Inside the Distance. Give it a look. Give it a subscribe. All that good stuff. Peace. All right, we are not far away from Fury versus Usyk. It's days away. And, you know, as I said, I for one am looking forward to it. A lot of people have said, and I understand them for saying this, that they are looking forward to it, but they're not allowing themselves to get carried away because God only knows what might happen. I think we're pretty much safe, and watch me say that, and then something will happen. But no, I think we're pretty much safe. But it's been interesting, watching Fight Week and how it's been, and looking at how Fury is going into this fight. You know, I said in the prediction video that a peak Tyson Fury, or Fury who fought, say, Deontay Wilder second time around a couple of years ago in 2020, that version of Fury, for me, would be Alexander Usyk. And I always felt that at their best, you know, Fury versus Usyk, I would always edge towards Tyson Fury. I would. Now, looking back at his last fight against Francis Ngannou, and again, he won the fight. I know he did, and I think he won it legitimately. And I guess, as I said, it's better to win ugly than not win at all. But when you look at that performance, it was not a good performance. Yeah, I've watched it a few times, and I watched it even a couple of rounds, the early rounds this morning. And I was like, God, he is slow. Like, he looks slow in that fight. And going into this fight, like, I was basically thinking he needs to be, it's not hard to get better than that. It won't be that hard to get better than that, but he needs to be significantly better. And he had the look of an old man in that fight. And I know you could tell he didn't train properly. He didn't look in good shape in the ring. But going into this week, it has me wondering, is Fury, I don't want to say he's worried about Usyk, because I've never felt that. I've never felt that he's looked at Alexander Usyk and thought, oh, that's going to be, you know, he's going to damage me, he's going to do this. I don't think it's fearful of Usyk the man at all. Usyk has shown really no fear towards Tyson Fury either. You look at how he's behaving this week, and for me, Eddie Hearn even said it in an interview he did with Charlie Parsons, that he feels Fury is looking nervous, and I agree. You look at him on the Tuesday, because the workouts, the open workouts were yesterday. You see him in an interview with Kugan Cassius on the Tuesday, and first thing you notice is that Fury is sweating a lot more than other guys that are being interviewed. And I know Saudi Arabia is hot, I get that, but they're got to be well air conditioned. And you see the sweat. You look at his eyes, and I remember saying to the guys in the Element group that he had his eyes look like drunk eyes, even though I know he's clearly not. But he just did not look right. For me, he looks nervous. This is not the Tyson Fury that I've seen in the past against Deontay Wilder, against Dillian Whyte, against Vladimir Klitschko back in the day. This is a lot more nervous looking Tyson Fury. And you could read something into this, you might not, but when you look at Fury in the public workout, now bear in mind, he did do a lot more in the public workout than some of the other guys. You know, Usyk was kind of tipping around, as were many of them. Fury was doing a lot more moving. But when you saw him get interviewed by Ali Drew straight after it, what's the first thing you notice? I mean, this guy was a profuse sweat. It was bad. Now, you could say that's one of two things. You could say that's nervous energy, which is causing that, because it does help. It does actually cause people to sweat from time to time. You could say he's just very, very much hydrated. So obviously his water intake has got to be a lot more than the other guys. He is a bigger man, a much bigger man. It is warm over there in Saudi Arabia, so that makes a lot of sense that his water intake could be just higher. Therefore, he's going to sweat a lot more. At the end of the day, they're well air conditioned over there. So that kind of profuse sweating is, I don't know, for me, it is a bit of a red flag. The fact that others are doing it, but it seems just more apparent with Tyson Fury. Again, it could be that he's just really hydrated himself really well, and that's maybe why. It's perfectly plausible. But everything about him this week his body language, his eyes, everything, the way he's been speaking, he doesn't, to me, speak with the confidence of the Fury of old. And I'm thinking that it's purely down to the fact that he does not trust his body in this fight. If you look at the Ngannou fight, now bear in mind, right, the Ngannou fight was fought over 10 rounds. It was really fought at a snail's pace. You go back and look at that fight. It wasn't like Ngannou was setting the pace and Tyson Fury was like, okay, I gotta try and match him, match and punch. But it was a snail's pace. And already he was looking tired. He was looking flat-footed. You hear the stories of Alan Babich when he was saying that he was sparring Fury, nearly 2 years ago. And he was saying that his body is just breaking down. And I'm wondering, is Tyson Fury nervous going into this fight thinking, right, I've done the training, I've had extra time to train because of the cut, all that. Is it the cut that he's worried about? I reckon it's those two things, the cut and the body. Is he worried that his body is going to get himself through this fight? And is he also worried about that cut? Because if the cut was legit and it was as deep as they were saying it was and it needs stitches and surgery, on the surface, it will look fine. But that scar tissue, as soon as a few right jabs from Usyk or a straight left hand comes, it's opened. And I said it in my prediction video, is Fury's game plan based off of him going through this fight completely scratch free? You're obviously going to, you can't swim without getting wet, you're going to get hit. But in terms of the cut opening, if it opens and it's real to punch and it's a deep cut and it's noticeable, is he worried about that? Is he worried about, even in rounds he's maybe going to win, loads of blood seeping down, and Usyk, if he has like white gloves, they're getting redder and redder and redder, and maybe worried about that? Because for me, he doesn't have that confidence about him that he used to have, certainly going into this fight. You contrast Tyson Fury, even though I know the Wilder trilogy fight was 3 years ago, and yeah, he wasn't, by his own admission, up for that fight as much as he should have been, and it was a much harder fight than it should have been. He still spoke with a lot more confidence. His eyes didn't look, kind of all over the place. He didn't have this kind of nervous energy to him that he seems to have in this fight. And it's just something I've noticed. Now, he could turn up the press conference today and it could be completely different. I don't know. But it's a strange one. It's a strange one about that. Let me know I'm just out to talk about it. Has anyone picked up on it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't want this to go on too long. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. And I will talk to you later for Midweek Report. Peace.